Hello everyone, welcome to Clark's Happy Hour. This is where we take a break from our busy lives and enjoy a drink together. Each week, I'll be joined by a special guest to share stories and hopefully bring a little happiness to your day. So please leave your comment down below and make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss a sip. Cheers! Hello everyone, welcome to Clark's Happy Hour podcast. Today I'm very happy to be joined by Ryan, one of my good friends. Ryan, why don't you say hello to our audience?
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. I'm originally from San Jose, and I moved down to SoCal when I was 17. And I've been here for about 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know you came here when you were 17.
Yeah, I started early. I started school early because my mom, tiger moms.
Asian tiger mom.
She's like, start at 2 years old. But I started early, so I graduated from high school when I was 17.
Oh, okay.
And then I lived in the dorms down here all by myself, and then I moved into a house when I was 18 in Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you study for your undergrad? You probably have to get closer to the mic.
Well, first, let's cheers.
Cheers. Today we're drinking Soju and Sprite. That's his favorite. Wait, is this your
It is
favorite?
my favorite.
It's your go-to? Okay, cool.
Oh, that's good. Here, you need some more.
Oh, thank you. This is a yogurt flavor Soju.
Yogurt's the best.
Yogurt flavor Soju. Yogurt is always the best. And with Sprite. Sprite's full of sugar. I think if it's sugar-free, it would be even better. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, so I went to my undergrad for criminal justice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, since 9th grade, I've always wanted to become a cop because I watched too much Law and Order.
Wait, you said Law and Order?
Yeah, Law and Order.
Is it a Netflix show or
No, it's a show on
the HBO or something?
like NBC.
NBC.
Yeah. Special Victims Unit. It's been running for like over 20 years.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And I don't know, it just made me want to look fun,
Mm-hmm.
It looked fun. So I went to my undergrad for that, and then I went on to get my master's in public administration. But then I recently switched careers in last September. I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't for me anymore.
Mm-hmm. The cop thing?
The cop thing, yeah.
Yeah. Big congrats to you of landing that job. It's big.
Well, not yet.
Oh, not, yeah. Because
Yeah.
That's your fellowship period.
Yes.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's getting there, but
It's like basically 1.5 foot inside the door.
yeah, almost there.
Almost
But I
there.
don't want to jinx
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's not. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and
Yeah.
be careful every day. So I'm so curious about the criminal. You said it's called criminology.
Criminology and criminal justice.
So what is it all about?
Well, it's two things. So criminology, it's the you're studying about like the mind of a criminal, the psychology of a criminal.
Cool.
So like that would help you when you're a police officer, that you understand how criminals think and why they do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And the criminal justice side is all the legal stuff.
Okay.
So knowing about the system, like the police system, the court system, the jail system. So we learn like laws. We learn like the structure of the police department.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you go to court? What happens when you go to jail?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like basically what it is.
So do you think studying criminology would be like very helpful for becoming a cop or even becoming a law? Would someone go
lawyer?
to law school?
Yeah,
afterward?
you would go to law school. Yeah,
That's one of the popular choices.
yeah.
Right?
So it's funny because my first internship ever at a police department.
Mm-hmm.
I was told to change majors immediately.
Wait, you were studying criminology and they
Yes.
told you to change major?
And the cops there told me to change my major.
Whoa, what the?
They said that it's, and I quote, worth toilet paper. My degree is worth toilet paper because outside, if you don't become a cop or become a lawyer, it's useless, right? They said, go do business, go get a business degree, or another degree that you can use as your plan B.
I could relate to that.
And at first I was like, no, this is bullshit. Like, you guys are fucking with me. But then I realized they were right, because when I switched my career, my criminal justice degree became useless.
True.
And I should have listened. I should have done a business major, so that if I didn't become a cop, like at least I could have done, like join a company or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Because now I'm like applying for jobs every day, and the degree requirements that's always on there will be like business,
business or
marketing,
engineering. It's like,
and BA, this sort of thing. So yeah.
And I didn't feel like it helped too much. I think whatever you needed to know how to become a cop, you would have learned it in the police academy.
True.
So it wasn't really necessary. So that's the one regret I have in my life, is that even if I did want to become a cop, I should have probably gotten a different degree that would be my plan B. Just because when you applying for a job at the police department is very different than applying a job at a company, because at a company it's very easy to get in if you have connections, right? But in the police department, it doesn't matter who you know. You can know the police chief and it wouldn't matter. Yeah. Right? Because there's like certain requirements that you need. You need to be like clean background. You need to have like you do like a psychology test.
And physical capability.
Yeah, physical. You need to make sure that your friends are not criminals or they're not doing like drugs or anything.
They check that detail?
They check everything, yeah. Wow. So it doesn't matter who you know, which isn't very helpful because I made a lot of connections in the law enforcement field. None of that mattered when I applied.
True.
So I just like the private sector now. It's you have to be smart, but connections help a lot. Connections matter more, I think, than being smart and being hardworking.
Yeah. Because I'm graduated from Police University. I think you probably know. Well, you know, right?
Yeah, I know.
And because I could relate, because like there's a debate on whether you really need a 4 years like bachelor degree to become a cop or not. You know, some people say, oh, you really don't need to be that smart. We need someone who could execute things, and not someone who like well educated, and then they think, oh, they could have done more, or they could have changed this and that. So
I've heard both. I've heard that if you're too smart, they won't pick you just because you need to learn how to follow orders. Yes. And if you're too smart, you start thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? Yeah. You start questioning your superior. Yeah. And when you're in a dangerous situation, you can't question your superior. You have to do exactly what you're told, right? So that's why I've heard that, like, that's why they don't take people who are like PhD or like masters.
They're too educated.
Too educated. But also the other thing is that like I've heard that you need a bachelor's degree because I've heard that statistically, police officers who have degrees are less likely to shoot a suspect than someone who has a high school degree.
Oh wow, that's very important.
Because you kind of stop yourself first and you think through like the process, and then you start analyzing in your head the situation, like, is this appropriate for me to fire my weapon, or should I like put my weapon away? Should I use a non-lethal like a taser instead? And I agree. I think when you're in college, you kind of learn how to analyze better.
Is it worth the consequence of your behaviors?
Yeah, so I don't think you need a master's degree, but I think you need a bachelor's degree.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So, but what's your take from the school, from the criminology? Do you think there's some parts of the what you learn there that still helps you a lot? That still
I do. Maybe if I ever get pulled over, I know what to do.
Okay.
I know the law.
Okay, that's
you can't search my car without probable cause.
Hey, yeah, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos like ever since the I forgot starting from what incident or what significant incident, and people started like questioning police officers that why you could pull me over, why you could ask me to leave my car and to
because if you don't know the law and you get pulled over, it's very easy for the police officer to incriminate you because they'll ask you a question and you feel like you're obligated to answer, and then you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, they're like fishing to see if you.
Yeah, like if they ask, "Have you been drinking today?"
Okay.
You're not obligated to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. So I feel like that is what I learned from the whole 4 years.
That's very important, though. That's really important because I remember when I got here, I was waiting for my friend, and I parked on the street, and I didn't notice there's a bus station. So I was like parking at the bus station, and the police car was in front of me, and like he walked down from his car and came to me and said, "Oh, you can't park here." He was about to sign me the tickets. And I was like, "Oh, sir, I just got here. I'm an international student. Please don't do this to me." I was like begging him, and then he let me. He let me go. But I mean, the kind of situation is pretty intense, and you get stressed and you get nervous.
Yeah, you can always say like, "Oh, I don't speak English."
You don't. You can say you say don't speak.
Just start
English.
speaking Mandarin and
no
just
English,
be like,
no English.
They're like, "Okay, fuck it, you can go."
I have to try. Next time I'll try maybe. Cheers. Wait, so comparing to North Cal, I think I asked you the same question. Comparing to here, like, would you say San Jose? How do you feel about these two cities?
I love San Jose,
okay,
but I love OC better.
OC,
yeah, not LA. I don't. For me, I don't vibe with LA that much.
The big city?
With the people and the culture, it's not really my type. I feel like Orange County is more my vibe. I prefer that over San Jose just because in San Jose, it's very small and everyone knows each other's business. It's very hard to start over once you gain a reputation because your friends know who you are, right?
Okay.
Or know they've heard of you. Like for example, like I've had a lot of classmates from high school get canceled for like sexual assault things.
Oh wow.
Not that I was ever friends with them, but I've heard about it. And that was like 5 years ago and people still bring it up today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like in the neighborhoods? Is it like a small neighborhood that everyone knows each other?
No, it's a million people in San Jose, but like all the Asians know each other and they all somehow hang out with each other.
But it's just the community is too tight, so
it is it's very tight.
So the word goes like spread it out and
so everyone knows each other, and then once you develop like especially a negative reputation,
so
it sticks with you.
Are you here because you want to start fresh?
Not because I did something bad.
Okay.
No. I don't know. I've always liked Southern California. I feel like the weather is better for me, and I don't know. I like the people too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why would you say you don't like the LA vibe? I mean, not you don't vibe with LA.
Maybe just grew up differently.
Okay.
Because when I grew up around a lot of Asians. So mostly of what I know is Asian culture. But you don't really find that in LA. It's very mixed altogether it's not like an Asian LA culture. It's like just an LA culture. So that's why it didn't, I didn't really connect with it that much. But compared to Orange County where the Asian culture is very similar to San Jose culture.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I integrated into that very easily compared to LA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because from a international students' point of view, I would say, because sometimes we like the local friends, especially Asians, that have parties, and I feel like it's all Asian, so I could easily like blend in. And I figure the Asian community's culture here is very different from the Asian culture back in Taiwan or
anywhere else.
maybe a little bit similar,
Yeah.
somewhere similar, but somewhere it's somehow it's like it also kind of like integrated the American culture, and it's just a very special experience for me.
It's different.
It is different, huh?
It's different, yeah. And I think it's harder for you because you're international
Mhm,
that you had to not only get used to the American culture but also
Mhm.
a different Asian culture here too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we Asians here have a different mindset and than probably international, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, in terms of like family values, in terms of dating values.
So yeah, share with us more about on that. What about the family values? I mean, we'll get to relationship later, but
yeah. So family values, I think it's different because a lot of Asian parents are not from here. They're from their home country, right? My parents are from Vietnam, and when they came here, they worked very hard to let their kid have a good future, right?
yeah.
But that means that they have to be strict,
Okay.
right?
They have to make sure that you are
Yeah,
on the right track.
right track, exactly. But
Okay.
the issue is that what what your parents are trying to teach you
Mm-hmm.
is different than
What are
The-
your peers doing?
than the environment that you're in at school,
Okay.
right? Because everyone at school is like, oh, like fuck school, I don't want to do that shit.
Uh,
And then you go home and your parents are telling you to do Kumon and and do after like school homework and stuff.
so you have been to that?
Been to what?
Been to this kind of like
Yeah.
is
Conflicts,
Is,
yeah.
Does it count as conflicts to you?
It does.
Okay.
It does because my parents are telling me one thing, but then at the same time, you kind of listen to what your peers
Yeah.
also think, right? Especially when you're young.
Yeah. How could you be cool if you have to do all that?
How can you be a nerd and be cool? You know?
Yeah. Okay. I'm watching the Netflix show called Have You? Never Have I Ever, and I think it's also talking about the Indian American and his parents.
Yeah.
Her parents are like first immigration, and he's been through all that. And so how do you balance it?
Well, when I was young, I was really scared of my mom and dad.
Oh, really?
Especially my mom. My mom was very strict in terms of school.
She bit you?
Huh?
She bit you? Like hit you?
She hit me, yeah. She hit me. My dad hit me, but for good reason,
Okay.
I was not the best kid.
Okay, it's good that you can think that way.
Yeah. What they did teach me was discipline.
Okay.
They taught me that by studying and working hard, you do get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But what they didn't teach me was how to have fun, how to integrate into American culture.
True, yeah.
So I grew up almost like a fob, like an international student,
Okay.
because they didn't know anything about American culture.
Fresh off board.
Fresh out the boat, yeah.
Fresh off the boat.
Yeah. So I felt like I was like the international student in my class because I wasn't wearing the right clothes. I didn't know the right music. Like all my mom listened to was Vietnamese music.
Okay.
So how would I learn about like R&B or like EDM music?
True.
So it wasn't until high school that I sort of found my own way.
Relate yourself.
Yeah, I related myself better with American culture, the Asian American culture,
Mm-hmm.
than my parents did, and I know I have the best of both worlds, but that's why I'm thankful for my parents.
So do you have any siblings?
I have a younger brother. He's
Okay.
2 years younger than me.
So he's also been through that.
Yeah, but he's taking it better than I have.
Oh, yeah.
He integrated
sure.
better than I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you say started in high school. You started feeling like you're more, you could vibe with American culture better, and
Yeah, because in
Other
high
friends.
school, you start learning more about Asian American culture.
Mhm.
Like raves is a big thing. I started raving when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
I actually printed out my birth certificate to my first rave because it was an 18 plus rave, and I changed my my birth year, to say that I'm 18.
Fake ID, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't have an ID, so I had to use my birth certificate.
Okay.
But they never checked it. I just thought it was something stupid that I did.
Okay.
But after like learning about the rave culture and the partying culture, I sort of understood more what it meant to be part of the Asian American culture.
Is
Yeah.
rave culture a big deal in Asian American? I feel like it
is.
is, right?
It's a pretty big deal. Yeah.
A lot of the Asians, even though they're now in their late 20s or 30s, they're still very into rave and music, festival and all that.
Yes, it's I don't know why. It's
Yeah, why? I'm so curious.
I think it's because, you know, when you grow up with strict parents, you're not allowed to do a lot of things.
Okay.
So when you go to a rave, it's so freeing,
Okay.
right? You're going with your friends. There's no parents around. Like everyone's your age, and you're listening to. Like I go for the music, but I mostly go for my friends. You know?
Okay, understood. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? I went to the Keishi's concert a couple weeks ago, and in that concert, it's like all Asian young teenagers, and that with a bunch of friends, like 10 and 15. They all look so cool with all blacks and ear pierced and all that, and it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
it's
so
an
it's a big deal.
escape. It's an escape.
So there's some of the events that the parents will let you go. Like because you're gonna hang with friends, yeah, begging her for so long, so she finally could let you go, this sort of thing.
I tell them it's in Vietnamese it's called ca hát. It's like a concert,
Okay.
like a singing concert.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they think it is. Well, when I first
okay.
told them, they're like, "Oh, it's a singing concert. Okay, that's
okay,
fine."
they imagine people all seated and
Yeah.
like with the propaganda on their hands
So-
and listening to the concert.
So the good thing about having parents who don't know about Asian American culture is
Okay,
they don't
yeah.
understand what a rave is. So you can say whatever you want, and they're like, "Okay, well, it's just a singing concert. Okay, you can go."
Okay.
But then later on, they eventually I told them what it was just when I was older. So now they know.
Okay.
But back then, I the only reason why I got away with it was because they didn't understand what it was. Yeah.
Wait, so back in your elementary school, junior high school, are all your classmates all Asian or? Because it's an Asian town, right?
So I was actually in private school until I went to
Okay.
high school.
Okay.
So until I was 13 years old, I was in private school. So my class was very small, like 50 people,
50.
50 per class. Most were Asians. I went to a school until 5th grade. That was more like half Chinese, half Indian.
Okay.
And then I went to a Christian school actually from about 5th grade to 8th grade. And that was mixed more with Latino, African American, a little bit of white Americans, and I would say majority, like 50% was Asians.
So
Yeah.
would you say in that kind of diverse environment, people would be more like mixed to each other in terms of their races, or they're still like kind of divided into their smaller groups?
No, it wasn't divided.
Okay.
It was pretty much integrated because it was a Christian school and not all of us were Christian.
Okay.
We kind of bonded over that.
For those groups that's not Christian, you bonded together.
Yeah. Some of us were very, very Christian, but some of us that were either Catholic or Buddhist or Hindu, because we had to go to every Tuesday we had to go to chapel.
What is chapel?
So we would go in the cafeteria, and the teachers and the administrators would sing songs of gospel and
The holy music.
yeah, like holy music. Yeah,
Holy music. Okay.
But for those who don't, who aren't Christian, it's something that we just had to go through.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. It was like, oh no, it's this
Yeah.
again, and let's just have
And
fun here. And,
I think back then I didn't understand the concept of liberal and conservative,
okay.
but they were very, very conservative in terms of
Religion.
of like gay equality.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure my 8th grade teacher voted for Trump.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure she was like from Montana, and she was talking about like she was the one who told us that like gays were going to hell.
Wow,
At that
that's-
time, I didn't really understand it.
You thought that's normal.
Well, why would I question what my teacher said when,
Yeah,
when
true.
I was like 12 years old?
Uh-huh.
So I didn't know any better. But then when I got into high school and college, and that's when I realized that
That's
what
really
what my school was teaching me when I was in middle school was inappropriate, and they shouldn't have done that. But yeah, it's a weird experience
Okay.
because my parents weren't even Christian; they were Catholic.
Okay.
But because my older cousin, he went to the same school, and they thought, okay,
Oh.
well, he's smart, so maybe we just send, our two kids to the same school my cousin did.
At least it's a reliable school, so
Yeah,
why not? Yeah.
interesting experience. I think I would have done better if I went to public school.
More liberal.
More liberal, yeah.
Okay.
More liberal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gabby, the other girl that I met in the MUP class, she also went to a Catholic school. So Catholic is considered more conservative than. Oh no. Christian school is considered more conservative than Catholic school.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
I would say they're both sort of conservative, but I think Christian schools just tend to be more strict on certain issues. And if anyone tries to argue against that, it's frowned upon. The teachers, they don't really listen to you. They don't really. They're like, you're 12 years old. You don't know what you're talking about. But that's why I say I'd rather have gone to a public school where all the ideas are accepted, and I think that would have made me a more open-minded person earlier on in my life.
Okay, you're now pretty much open-minded.
I am
right?
open-minded. I am, but I wish I was more open-minded when I was younger.
Because you dare to explore more and to say more of what you want to say.
Yeah, because my parents, they taught me like, don't ever disrespect your teachers. Listen to everything your teacher says. But then now that I realize like what my teacher said was wrong, but back then I didn't have the balls to say anything.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wait, so you still communicate to your parents in Vietnamese?
Yeah. So my dad, in Vietnam, he was an English teacher, so he knows a lot of English.
Okay.
But my mom, she was a chemistry teacher, so she didn't speak a lot of English.
Wow.
So I grew up, actually my first language is Vietnamese.
Okay.
Because my mom didn't know how to speak English. And I had an accent until I was in 5th grade.
Is it very obvious to tell? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
obvious.
Okay.
Because one of my classmates pointed out to me in 5th grade, like, hey, you have an accent. You can't say your R's. I'm like, oh shit, like I should probably change that. So eventually I learned how to speak with more American accent. Yeah.
Cool. Both your parents are teachers. That's why they're like tiger parents.
Yeah, my mom, when she was young, she was class president.
Wow.
For like 5 years, like for a class. And my dad, he was smart, but he was kind of always like fucking around, like doing stupid shit. But he was still smart.
But also enjoys life.
Yeah. So I get I get both from my parents. You know, I have fun a lot, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm in like leadership positions.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of both.
Yeah, but I think both is good.
Both is good.
I think it's good to have fun, but it's also good to know how to have responsibility in
be
school.
accountable.
Yeah, because it teaches you how to be responsible when you work. Right. That's why in my current position in GSG, that's why I'm trying to recruit as many people as possible to join to do leadership, but because it teaches you how to act in the professional world. It teaches you responsibility rather than someone who just goes to school and goes home. You don't really learn anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, should we look back to the relationship part?
Yeah, the good part.
The good part. When was your first date and how it happened? Wait, would your current girlfriend have any issues with that? Probably will. So you better.
I don't know if she's gonna see this, but
Okay, maybe she's.
just don't show it to her.
Okay, yeah. Wait, I think we didn't follow each other on Instagram, so it'd probably be cool.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So I've only had 2 girlfriends ever.
Okay. Hey, Brian's friends never share this to his girlfriend.
Yeah, don't share. Actually, no, it's okay. She knows.
Okay.
She knows some of those.
Okay, yeah.
She just doesn't like hearing about it.
You're very honest. That's fine. Yeah.
My first girlfriend ever was when I was 17. I had a very bad dating life, I guess. Like, I liked a lot of girls.
Okay. But that's the time that we, as a guy, started to, started feeling that chemistry with girls. And
I didn't have Riz back then.
Okay.
Like, probably when I was in 7th grade until 12th grade or 11th grade is when I really liked girls, but I didn't know how to pursue them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like the simp, you know what I mean?
The simp started chasing
them all the time, but then I realized that
being very begging.
Yeah, I realized that girls don't really like guys like that.
Okay.
Because I think they give up too easily. Like, they give up everything too easily. Like, oh, I'll give you everything, anything you want.
Yeah.
And I was like that type of person. I would be like, oh, what do you need? Like, I'm too available.
Yeah.
Too available. And I think girls
don't appreciate that.
They like it, but it's not someone they would date.
It's not something attractive.
Yeah, it's not as attractive as someone who's more reserved, who doesn't give everything.
A little bit of
who's not a simp.
A little bit of kind of like a mysterious vibe.
Yes, mysterious vibe. Girls like that.
Okay.
So
dating game is hard, man.
No, it is hard. It is hard. So it wasn't until like 12th grade where this girl in my class, she was in my class, but I didn't like her. I didn't talk to her for a long time.
Okay.
Until like 2 months before I graduated high school. And we were on a project together, and there was another guy that was supposed to be there, but he couldn't make it. So it's just the 2 of us, and then we just ended up talking, and then we ended up liking each other.
How long have you been talking to each other? Then you ended up figuring out. You didn't feel it that strong at the beginning.
No, I think it was very strong.
Oh, at the beginning it was strong.
It was strong, yeah.
Okay.
And we dated 5 days after we talked to each other.
Okay.
Which is very, very fast. But I think part of it was because I wanted just to say that I had a girlfriend in high school. So for me, I should have thought about it more carefully. I should have been like,
oh, okay.
Like, maybe I should get to know you more.
Okay.
Before.
You wanted to get the title.
The title. I wanted to get the title.
Okay.
So I dated her really fast, and that was a bad idea because we found out we dated for a year and we broke up, but we found out that we weren't compatible personality-wise. Okay. We were too different, and then we broke up, and then I dated Rain soon after, and we've been together for 5 years. Well, in June it's gonna be 5 years.
In June it's gonna be 5 years.
Yeah.
June? Which day in June?
June 1st.
June 1st.
Just because it's easy for me to remember. It's like, okay, first week of June.
Okay.
Yeah, first day of June.
Okay. Interesting. So, 5 years is a long time.
It is a long time.
You're a very stable guy.
Yeah. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, like every couple does. But yeah, I would say we're very strong right now. We were long distance for a year and a half.
Wow. What happened back then?
When we were long distance?
Yeah.
Well, I was long distance with my ex too, so I kind of knew what to do. So maybe like once every 2 months I would come back.
Okay.
For a weekend, and I would see her. And
oh, she was up north.
Yeah, she was still. Was she in high school? No, she graduated. So she went to community college in San Jose. So we were long distance, and we would FaceTime every day and talk to each other.
That's nice.
But then I think after a year and a half, I got to the point where I thought that, this relationship isn't going to go anywhere unless we're physically together.
Why? Because you were visiting her every 2 months.
Yeah, but that's not enough.
Okay, yeah.
I think I would never do long distance again, no matter who the girl was.
It's too rough.
It's a lot hard. Like it's a lot too
of work.
It's too much work. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you're feeling that like physical attraction, what can you do? You know, she's too far away.
True.
So it takes a toll in the relationship.
Okay.
So that's why I promised myself that I would never ever be in a long distance relationship again. Even if that girl I thought was like the perfect person,
Wait,
I would never do it.
but would you say going through that long distance experience really helped you to connect it better than ever, like build a strong foundation than ever? Then even you.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good experience to go through, but I would never put myself through that again. I don't think it's worth it.
Tough. You don't think it's worth it?
I don't think it's worth being on a long distance.
Okay.
For me, I mean, people are different. Maybe some people don't need that physical attraction, like wanting that person to always be there physically. But for me, I would prefer that I have someone who's very close by. Doesn't necessarily have to live with me. Just maybe like max 50 miles away.
50 miles.
50.
50. How long is the drive?
Like an hour and a half.
Okay.
I think that's the
your max driving distance.
If you're 51, no, I'm not dating
No,
you.
sorry.
Too far. That's 1 mile too far.
We gotta set our hinge distance with the 50.
50
Guys.
miles.
Okay.
Yeah. It's too far.
Understood. But before that long distance, how long were you two dating? A solid year or?
Like how long were we talking to each other?
Yeah. You've been together for a while, right?
Yeah. No, we were we started off long distance.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
we
started off long distance.
That's big. That's why you feel like it's rough. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you started together for a good year and then you build that trust and foundation, it's going to long distance. Well, it would be easier than just starting in long distance. But also, you guys like keep each other together in a year and a half of long distance relationship. I think that means something. At least that means something.
Yeah. No, it made our relationship stronger.
Yeah.
But like I said, I would never put myself through that again.
Okay.
That was horrible.
Okay.
That was like a year and a half. That's a long time.
Especially long distance. I think the thing is you don't know what to expect. Like you don't know what's next. You don't see, like if you both see that you will live together in the future, then probably you could still head in there.
Yeah.
But if you don't really talk about that, don't really know what's the next in each other's planes, and then you just go nowhere.
Well, I only date to marry.
Wow.
I don't date to date. You know.
When did you tell yourself that you only date to marry?
I think I've always thought like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the Asian parents' point.
My parents were each other's first.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, they never dated anyone else. They were at long distance for 7 years. So
Holy shoot!
I don't think I should complain, you know, because
especially back then, there's no FaceTime. There's
like
only emails, I guess.
So what happened was my dad had to go to America just to start a life so he could bring his fiance.
Which was my
mom. So my mom was in Vietnam for 7 more years, and they could only call once a month on a like they had to pay for the phone use.
Once a month.
Yeah, once a month they could talk for maybe 30 minutes.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, it's so when I complain about it, it's like nothing compared to what my parents went through. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say I did to marry, because I thought, because at that time my brother, he was in a 7-year relationship with his girlfriend. They started dating when they were 12 until like maybe 19. 12 to 19, yeah.
Wow.
So in my family, it was just that pattern of you stay with your first girlfriend for a long time, and you're supposed to marry that person.
And you try to make it work.
I did, but then it didn't work.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one didn't work, and then I realized that you don't really have to marry the first one. It's just whoever it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your parents didn't really got you back then.
Yeah, like I take a lot of what my parents do.
That's good.
I look
that's
up
good.
to them.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah, but they weren't mad or anything when I broke up with my ex. Like,
Okay.
they understood, and they didn't say like, oh, you had to marry your first girlfriend. No, they didn't say.
Yeah.
They didn't say any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very understanding parents.
That's
actually.
nice. Oh.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of my friends say like, oh, I wish I had your parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Wow.
I realized that a lot of parents, especially Asian American parents, are divorced, or they are still married but they don't sleep together in the same bed, or they don't love each other.
So that means they try to still be in the marriage, but they just don't.
It's a dead marriage.
That marriage, okay.
But especially in Vietnamese culture,
Mm-hmm.
divorce is a very taboo thing. You're not supposed to get divorced, especially if you're Catholic.
Is it taboo?
Yeah, if you're Catholic and you're Vietnamese, you're not supposed to get divorced. And my parents have even told me that. They've even said like, think carefully before you marry someone, because we're gonna be very mad at you if you get divorced.
They told you that?
Yeah, they said. You can't.
Don't let the family's reputation
Yeah.
get dirty. Let me see, my video is still going. Cool, it's still going. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big, man.
Because my cousin, she married some guy.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 months, I think they got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like sort of a shameful
For the family.
for our family. We never told my grandpa.
Wow.
He died knowing that, thinking that my cousin was still married.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how big divorce. It's like the biggest thing. Divorce.
In Vietnamese culture.
In my family, I think
In your family.
divorce is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. Wow.
Yeah. I
That's-
don't know.
I think-
What about Taiwanese culture?
I think it was like that maybe 20 years ago, but now it's just divorce is
Normal.
so normal and common in Taiwan. So people don't get into marriage that early anymore. We wait till their late 20s and 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just feel like, from your point of view, 'cause since you only date to marry, how could you make sure this person is the one?
That's a good question.
Sorry, it's getting kind of deep, huh?
I think for me, you need to know if their values match your values,
Wow.
right? What are your family values? What are your career values? Because personally, I would like to marry someone who's as ambitious as I am, right? So I want to be rich. So that person either has to help, support me into that goal, or also they want to be rich too, stuff like that. Like having good values, being a good person. I think that matters a lot to me. Like how you act in public versus how you act in private has to match. You can't be nice in public and then in private you're
Sabotage
rude.
people.
Yeah, you're rude. You talk shit about
Sabotage
people.
people.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like someone who's genuinely nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that seems like a low standard, but
But I mean, it's something
It's-
that's just really hard to find nowadays, because
yeah,
especially in terms of values, a lot of people are well off now. They don't need to work
Yes.
hard. They can get things from families, and they are carefree. So they just wanna, and also that makes them become very picky in the relationship. They want a perfect guy. They want a perfect girl.
there's no such thing as perfect.
Yeah, I know, man.
There's no such thing. You have to accept them for who they are, And I think once you realize that, okay, well, this person, I accept them for everything
Mm-hmm.
about how they view life, how they view work. That's when you know that this is the person you should marry or not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not sure about that, then you shouldn't marry.
So how did you know if their families, their values in their families, and also their
I think you have to also look at like how they treat their family, or if they have kids, right? Like how would you treat your kids? Would you spoil them, or would you teach them good values? We've seen a lot of people who are like have too much fun, and that's all they think about, right? But I think that also comes from being a parent, that you need to teach your kid like it's okay to have fun, but it's also important to work and succeed. You know, you can't keep partying until you're 30.
Wow.
And you're like still living at your parents' house. You know. Yeah.
Wow, that is a good point. Because I feel like nowadays it's just we always see good things that people posted online, and we never thought about like what about the time they are putting into work, the time that they are like putting efforts into what they want to achieve, and we just feel like people are enjoying their life, so that's what we thought, but then we didn't know about their values. So it's really hard to observe the part of them if you don't really become together. So you get into a relationship first to observe, or you observe and then get into a relationship?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think when you, well, I don't know this personally because I don't go on dates. But I'm guessing that when
you don't do it now, but
I'm guessing that when you go on dates, you ask.
Dating games. I
think you're just looking at the wrong places.
Okay.
But that's a different story.
Okay.
But I think when you are on a date, you probably have to like ask them like a questionnaire in your head, right? Like these are the things I want to check off, right? And then like the basic questions. And then when you're in a relationship, that's when you get to the deeper questions. So it's screening both. It's screening
That's a
both.
good point.
Yeah.
Because when I go on dates, I never thought about asking those questions.
No, when you're on a date, do not ask about like how would you be a mom? You know?
Yeah.
That's not a good question to ask.
But I feel like sometimes the girls they ask me this sort of questions, I sometimes feel like, oh, it's very attractive, but I didn't think too much.
Well, if they ask it, then it's okay.
Yeah, they ask something like,
but the guy shouldn't ask.
yeah, when you want to get married, you want to have kids, or how's your parents and what are they doing, and this sort of questions. I didn't think too much, and I feel like I'm so not prepared to answer those questions because I just didn't think that would bring it up, and
well, every girl's different, you know.
It is.
Some girls will ask more like superficial questions.
Mm-hmm.
Other girls will ask more deep questions. So you have to be ready for both. You know,
Okay.
like if a girl asks you how you're gonna be as a dad, you need to know exactly how you're gonna be as a dad.
Yeah, but you gotta be ready to answer that.
Oh, I'm ready to answer that. I don't know about you.
Okay, yeah. That kind of reminded me of something I read recently. Just people said, oh, if you wanna find someone that has that sort of values that you're looking for, you gotta be that value. You gotta be that kind of person. So you gotta think about what kind of person you wanna be, then you could attract that kind of person.
Yeah, but don't fake yourself.
Okay.
Don't be that fake person that you want everyone to like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so hard to keep up with that for
It
years.
is,
You know, so it's a lot easier to be yourself. And I feel like girls will find that more attractive, and they'll know it.
Mm-hmm.
Like be yourself, and whoever's attracted to that, let them be attracted to it, but don't fake yourself because you want a girl to like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did that in high school, and that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
I put up this facade of like, I'm this like different person, but then in real life I'm not that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I realized like growing up, that be yourself, and people will like that. People find it genuine.
Mm-hmm.
People will see through your fakeness easily.
It is.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like even at our school, like we know some people who
act differently.
in front of other people.
Oh,
and then
please,
one-on-one.
Please name a few. Let me get my charger. Let me see. Here.
Just give me 1 sec.
Okay.
Give me a second,
I'll be solo here. Yeah. So I think you say a lot of good points, and how to say, dating is just getting harder and harder. Because I feel like nowadays, with contribution of dating apps and social medias, people are doing window shopping a lot. They feel there's just so many options, and they don't really need to, they don't really look into that person anymore. They just kind of like easily move on to the next. But that's also the thing of the society now. But I think there's pros and cons. The pros is that you don't need to worry too much on not finding a girl, because there's a lot of girls there. It's just the matter of timing. Also, it's more about whether you put into work into yourself.
Yeah, you need to work on yourself, like physically and mentally. But like I've told you, like the less you look for a girl, the more likely one will come to you. You know, that's why I don't know. That's why I realized, just in life in general, like if you want something really bad, don't want it, because you're not gonna get it, and then you like your hopes get destroyed. You know, just I just let things happen every day. You know, it's just like whatever, because like my career, like I had a 10-year career plan, and that went out the window last semester. So that's when I realized, like, just live life every day, and you know, you can still think to yourself, like, I do want a girl, but don't be desperate for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the less desperate you are, the more I think a girl can see that.
Honest too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They find that less attractive. Like
yeah. Because would you want a desperate girl?
I would say, wow, you don't have your own life. I would feel like you don't have your own life, that you have to keep sending me a message every...
Yeah, I wouldn't want a desperate girl.
Okay.
I wouldn't want one. I want someone who...
We also want the kind of sense of conquer, right?
Huh?
The kind of sense of conquer? That you achieve something?
Who, them or you?
I said us as a guy.
Would
you...
conquer them?
I mean, like, it's just not that easy to get a girl. You have to...
It's an achievement.
It's
achievement because it's so much harder for a guy to get a girl than it is for a girl to get a guy.
True.
So I wouldn't say conquer, but I would say it's an achievement for us, to reach that goal. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's not something you should be desperate about. If it happens, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because for me, I like my girls to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly like too much clinginess. That's just me.
You like Miss Independent.
I do like someone who's independent. Someone who has their shit together.
Who has their own thing.
Has their own thing. And maybe we see each other like 2 times a week.
Uh-huh.
That's something. Well, unless you live with them, then that's different. But if you live with them, then maybe you both work throughout the day and you talk to each other at night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that works for me too.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't have someone who's like clinging to my feet like every single minute of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's overwhelming for me because I need to have my own space too.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm attracted to that type of girl who like maybe like I'll talk to like not majority of the day, you know, like I'll talk to you a little bit at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for me. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a clingy girl or you just don't give a shit?
I mean, cleanliness means something, right? Means that
it means they love you.
It means they love you. They're very into you. But at the same time, you also want someone that doesn't put too much weight on you. Like you are the only thing in their world. That's kind of too much of a pressure. And
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm politically correct on that. Let me think.
Well, that's up to you. This is your podcast. You say whatever you want.
Okay, true. Cleanliness. Let me think. Yeah, I would say that means something, but at the same time, you also want them to. I don't know. I think I'm more, like you say, I'm also more attracted to people who have their own thing, who are really enjoy what they like, what they're working on, and I think that's universal, huh?
Is it? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I just know about me. I don't know about everyone else. I don't want to assume.
Honestly.
That's the one thing I learned in a relationship.
Honestly.
Never assume what a girl is thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Never do that
Okay.
because you're gonna get in trouble.
True.
It's better to ask.
Better to clarify.
Yeah, it's better to clarify.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what if like you are going out and like let's assume you don't have a girlfriend now. You're going out and you met a girl that you really like, and I mean that you're kind of attracted to her. Maybe not. You don't know about her. You're attracted to her. What's your move?
I don't have Riz. I don't.
Would I get you in trouble with that question?
Babe, this is a hypothetical, okay? So don't get mad at me.
Hypothetical, yeah.
No, well, I haven't flirted with a girl like that in years. You know?
Okay.
So, I'm like so out of the game. I have no idea. I would say I just come up and like talk to her and just be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, you know, you look at things around your environment that you can talk about.
Mm-hmm. Do you press them? Do you compliment them first?
Yeah, Well,
That's
you
a
know
good
more about
starter,
this than
right?
I do, so I don't know why you're asking me. But probably, yeah, you probably compliment them like, "Oh, you know, your dress is nice," or
Okay, yeah. That's what
I don't know, "You smell good."
Uh-huh.
Actually, I don't know about that one, but
Smell good, kind of creepy, but okay, that's cool.
or I like your smile. Like I saw your smile from like across the room, and I just wanted to say hi. You know.
Uh-huh.
After that, I don't fucking know what else you're supposed to do.
That's the thing. When I started to talk, I don't know like what's next, you know.
Or you kind of find things you can relate on.
Okay.
Like, why are you both there? Like, what's the setting? You know, are you both at a party?
They have
Like, yeah, like, so say if you're at a party, like, who do you know? You know, like, maybe, like, you both have mutuals.
who are you coming with?
Yeah, who'd you come with?
Uh-huh.
It's like, and then maybe they say a name, and then you're like, oh, I know that person.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's a connection. You just find, the more connections you find, the easier it is to talk about something.
True.
Rather than going up to someone and being like, hey, what's your major?
Yeah, like
Where you
asking
from?
questions. Yeah, like
That's so basic, you know?
100 questions to ask. Yeah.
I feel like every guy has asked that girl that probably, you know? So you have to find different creative ways, like,
That's so true. That's true. So true.
yeah.
Because I feel like, yeah, that's the thing. 'Cause when I went out with girls that's on the maybe on dating app and all that, then we started like investigating each other, you know, shooting questions at each other.
Yeah, like find one thing you can relate on,
Mm-hmm.
and then go off on that, and then eventually something that you guys connect on based off of that first connection will come up again,
Mm-hmm.
and you have more and more to talk about.
And they'll feel you more interesting than just keep asking questions. And
Which is why if I was ever single, I don't think I would ever go on dating apps. I think it's too much. It's hard to connect with someone that you don't know.
it's just nothing that
Yeah,
in your life that's overlap.
it's better to have like a
common thing.
like a mutual friend or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, you gotta bring me to your friends' parties more.
what do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, you have already brought me to a lot, but
Okay, but you can't tell everyone you're 29.
Why?
You're too old.
I'm too old.
Say you're 25.
Because your friends are all too young.
Yeah, you gotta say you're 25.
You just told me that, bro. You look like a 25.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all.
So
Thank
just
you,
say
bro.
you're 25, and then
Okay.
you know, if you're both drunk, you're not gonna remember that shit.
Okay.
And then like the next day you can be
And
like,
you know what? Before June 24th, I'm still 28.
okay, you're still 28 then. So maybe the next day, then if it comes up, then you can say like, oh, I'm 29.
I thought
You know?
the girls like the older guys now. Or we're out of market.
No, girls like older guys.
Okay.
Most girls date older men. Most girls,
Mm-hmm.
because a girl's maturity is
3 years or 4 years earlier than.
it's higher than a man's.
Okay.
So let's say like a girl and a guy are both 23.
Mm-hmm.
That girl would probably have a maturity of probably like 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they date older men, because someone who's 26 would probably have someone who has the maturity of a 23-year-old girl, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think, I might be wrong, I'm not a scientist, but that's
You are
why,
the criminology major.
yeah, I don't even know about criminals, I don't know about dating. But I'm guessing that that's why girls tend to go for older men.
Honest too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just say I'm 25. That works.
Yeah. And who cares? 25, 28, 29. Yeah.
Number is just a mirage.
Yeah, because I think once you, connect with the girl, I don't think age matters anymore.
True.
Yeah, but I think you just have to get over that barrier first of like, oh, you know, it's a 6-year difference. You know, that might be too big for a girl, but eventually that shit won't matter.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't look 29, and you don't act 29. I think you act younger. So.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's up to you how you want to do it, but that's my advice.
Thank you,
that's
man. But you'll still be around, right? After you graduate, you'll be in OC.
I'll be in Irvine.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm moving in July.
July.
Yeah, July.
You found a place?
It's my friend's place.
Okay.
She's buying a house.
Oh.
But
you're renting a room.
I'm renting it from her. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not for sure yet, but it looks right now that that's the easiest for me instead of like looking for a house.
True.
I can just go to her house and just
and be more flexible on the.
Flexible and
She's a friend.
She's a friend, so I've had issues with landlords not doing anything.
True.
So if you're moving in with a friend, it's a lot easier to say like, hey, you know, the oven's broken, and they'll fix it, you know, rather than having a property manager.
Yeah.
They're like, I'll fix it in 3 months.
Yeah, and also since you're friends, it's like you would feel, how to say, you would love the place more. You feel like, oh, that's our home. You don't feel like, oh, it's just somewhere I rent.
Yeah.
You don't want to put into, like, you don't want to make the room look good. You don't want to do all that.
Because right now I live with housemates that I found on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
So even though we're around the same age, we don't really, you know, we're not really friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once we move in with someone who is our friend, like, you know, you can always hang out with them. You can always like make Sunday dinners together.
Yeah.
You
like
know,
buy groceries together.
Yeah, and you're more comfortable talking about like any issues around the house.
Yeah, agree.
Than having a random person be your landlord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know if you ever have any parties and down there.
Who do you think I am? Why do you think I have so many parties? I don't.
No, Ryan really has.
I don't have a lot of parties.
He only.
No, I don't.
He only do that kind of book reading club, those sort of things.
Book reading, yeah. Yeah, I read books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, thanks for coming to the show today.
Yeah, of course.
It's a good hour of talk.
Cheers.